Today I'm going to show you guys how to make one of my absolute favorite recipes. It's a lemon butter chicken recipe, and not only is it savory and delicious, but everyone in my family loves it. My kids love it, my husband loves it, and I love it as well. And not only is this one easy to make and super delicious, but we're going to make this in one pan, and that's really going to help with cleanup after dinner. So let's dive in and let me show you how to make this lemon butter chicken step by step.
Start by taking a half of a tablespoon of smoked paprika and adding it to a small mixing bowl. Next, add 1/4 teaspoon of salt to the mixing bowl. Take some fresh ground pepper and add it to the mixing bowl as well, about 1/8 teaspoon. Then pick up a wire whisk and start blending and combining those spices until they're well combined. Next, you'll add about 1/2 teaspoon of the spice mixture that you just combined onto one side of the chicken breast. Just spread it as evenly as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And what you're going to do next is you're going to take your fingers and you're going to evenly spread the mixture onto each breast just until it's covered. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Flip over those chicken breasts, and then what you're going to do is take the rest of the seasoning and sprinkle it evenly onto each breast. Again, using your fingers to spread it equally as possible onto the chicken breast. Melt 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter in a large oven-proof skillet over medium-high heat. When the skillet is hot, you're going to take a pair of tongs and add each chicken breast to the skillet. You just don't want them to overlap. After 2 to 3 minutes of searing, take the tongs and pick up a side of the chicken just to make sure that it's golden brown. Using a pair of tongs, remove the chicken breasts and place them on a plate and set them aside. Then add 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter into the hot skillet. Add 4 cloves of minced garlic to the skillet, and then pour in 1 cup of chicken broth, 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream, 1/3 cup of Parmesan cheese, the juice of 1 lemon, ensuring you don't get the seeds in there, 1/4 teaspoon of dried thyme, and then a splash of dry white wine. I love using either a Chardonnay or a Sauvignon Blanc in this dish. However, the wine is totally optional, so you don't have to use it, but it definitely adds flavor. The sauce needs to boil for about 5 to 7 minutes to thicken. So once it has started to thicken, you're going to add in 2 cups of fresh spinach, and then you're going to add in 2 tablespoons of freshly chopped parsley. And kind of move that around a little bit until it starts to wilt just slightly. From there, grab the chicken that's been setting aside with a pair of tongs and place each chicken breast onto the spinach and parsley and cream sauce mixture until they are evenly placed side by side and not overlapping. Once the oven has preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, place the lemon butter chicken skillet into the oven and let it cook for 30 minutes. Once it's done, using oven mitts, remove the lemon butter chicken skillet from the oven and set aside to rest. While the chicken is resting, the sauce is going to continue to thicken just a little bit. Your chicken should be completely done, and when you cut into it with a fork and a knife, it should be completely white all the way through with no pink. That's how you know the chicken is done.
So let's talk about a couple of expert tips so that you can have the most success when making this lemon butter chicken. So the first thing you need to know is that don't be scared to use a flavored paprika. There's 3 different types of paprikas. The first one is sweet, the second one is hot, and the third one is smoked. My preference for this recipe is to use smoked paprika because it really helps add to the savory flavor of the dish. However, if you like spicy food and you want to spice it up just a little bit, then use a hot paprika. While you can use a sweet paprika, it kind of takes away from the savory flavor, so I don't recommend that. So if you're wanting my pro tip, use a smoked paprika. The next thing with this dish is that it's so versatile and you can add many different ingredients that you like. So some of the favorites that I like to add capers, I like to add sliced mushrooms. I also like to add sun-dried tomatoes. And you can add all of those, or you can add just one of those. It's totally up to you. It's a very versatile dish. And then keep in mind, when you're buying your chicken breasts today tend to be on the larger side. So you're typically looking at 6 to 8 ounces for chicken breasts. And with this dish, I love using the bigger chicken breast, so preferably around 8 ounces. The thin sliced chicken breasts tend to dry out and not be as juicy and tender. So go ahead and buy those regular 6 to 8 ounce chicken breasts and use it in this dish. Another thing to keep in mind, if you don't want to go out for, say, date night or a special occasion like Valentine's Day, this is the perfect dish to make for you and your partner. It's delicious, it's savory, and while it can be eaten on its own, you can also serve it with rice, you can serve it with pasta, or you can just serve it on a bed of spinach. Again, very versatile. I cannot wait to hear what you think about this recipe, so make sure you leave me a comment on the post and hit that thumbs up button or share the post with your friends and family. I know that you guys are going to love this recipe just as much as I do, and I can guarantee you it's going to become one of your family favorites.